What's going on, family? 71 Max back to make impact on another beautiful day with lots of money on the way. Welcome to the YouTube channel where we give all the game for free. Welcome to the free artist era. And today I got a quick one for you guys, but it's a really impactful one. So I want to let you make sure you guys pay a lot of attention and take notes because it's not a joke. Today is not. I'm going to talk to you guys about the one thing that 99% of artists are not doing that they absolutely have to be doing, that every artist who is mainstream right now and who is signed to a label and who is big right now has going for them, whether they figured it out subconsciously on their own or whether the label helped them do it after the fact, right? But everyone has it going on, right? And this is gonna be big for you guys. It's gonna be major for you guys for one reason, because a lot of you guys are spending money on marketing. And you guys don't know that this needs to be done before the marketing happens. There's a step in between creating the music and marketing the music that everybody skips, that no one's telling you guys about, that is really actually like the key to growing as an artist and to actually having a real solid fan base that comes back and loves you and is not going nowhere. This is what happens when you don't follow this and you don't actually do this. You make the music, you make your music video, you make your content, right? You have ideas, whatever, you know, yeah, this would be cool in the music video. I should do this for some content. Maybe you seen somebody posting some shit online. They're like, yo, this is a cool content idea. You use that, whatever, right? You put it out. Now you're like, shit, okay, I gotta market the music. I got a little bit of reaction. I got a few comments from my regulars, from my people who's always been fucking with me, but now I need to get even bigger now. So now let me put some money in some ads. Let me run some PR, maybe some Instagram blogs, some TikTok influencers, whatever it is that you choose to do for your marketing method for this record, right? And then you might get some results, but nothing really clicking like that. And then even if you do get results, it doesn't necessarily carry over to your next release. It doesn't necessarily carry over to where you feel like you actually have fandom. And there's a reason for this. As a marketer, there's one thing above all. Before you start, for example, like coming from a business perspective, right? It's not really talked about in the artist community, but from a business perspective, right? The one thing that happens first above every single thing that happens is, in business, we call it the offer. It essentially means, what are we selling? Marketing is how to sell shit, how to run the ads, how to get on the blogs, how to get people to look, how to sell it. But before we talk about how to sell it, we have to talk about what are we selling? You know what I mean? Like, you guys heard the phrase, good dope sells itself? Would that not be a good explanation for why some artists coast to the top and just seem to effortlessly make it and get rich and famous and get signed to a label, and it appears that they didn't do no marketing, they didn't make no content, they didn't do none of this voodoo shit that everyone's talking to you about, even myself. I talk about a lot of marketing methods myself, right? Certain artists are getting on without doing this stuff, and you're watching them coast to the top, and you're like, what the hell did they do that I'm not doing? Well, whether they did it subconsciously or whether they did it consciously, what they did is they worked on the offer, what they're selling. The music is half the offer, right? It's part of it. It's not the main part of it. It's not the real juice. It's not the meat and potatoes. It's part of it. It's the vehicle to help get in front of people. But what the real main part of the offer is when it comes to music as a music artist is you. You are the product. I could picture a lot of backlash right now. A lot of people saying things like they don't really like that. I get it. If you're the product, that technically means that you're selling yourself, right? But you are. And not in a bad way, but think about it. When somebody buys a ticket to go to a concert, they buy a Future ticket or a Drake ticket, right? I want to go see Drake, the Drake concert. Not, oh, I want to go see Marvin's Room, a song. No, they want to go see the artist. 99% of people who go to a concert go to see the artist. They don't go to see any one specific song, right? And now, for example, another example, when you go to the grocery store, right? You see everything is packaged up and different packages, different color schemes, very well thought out, very intentional. And it's meant to get your attention, it's meant to give you a feeling, give you a vibe, and it's meant to attract the right people, right? Maybe one day you go and you don't find your regular brand of cereal and you're thinking, what should I eat today? Well, maybe you might first pick one you've seen in a commercial maybe, Maybe you might pick one that, you know, someone else talks about, or you see somebody else eating that you might like, or then maybe you just might see one that just stands out and you're like, hey, let me check that one out because it just, the packaging caught your attention. So big brands, whether it's business or whether it's music, record labels, they spend a lot of time and a lot of energy, a lot of money packaging their product. And you are the product, but you haven't spent any time packaging yourself, right? So what we're talking about here is called visual identity branding. Visual identity branding. So just think about it like this, right? The entertainment industry, I say this all the time, is like a big reality show. It has characters, it has, you know, random storylines, random events. And in this reality show, there's a bunch of different characters and they have different personality traits. And in order for you as an artist to enter into this reality show that is the entertainment industry, you have to package yourself correctly as the right character that's going to be a good fit on the show. It's like you're auditioning for a part. So they have something called character archetypes. Now these are categories of personalities that are common in Hollywood, reality shows, and the entertainment industry, music. And labels are using these to categorize their artists and to understand how they're going to push them, right? So for example, one is the hero. The hero is somebody who's super confident and courageous and who inspires other people by doing and showing people the way and, hey, this is how we can do this. Saving people by being themselves and by being a hero and people following behind their lead, right? Now, for those of you who are into hip hop, right, who's watching this, think of Lil Baby and Dirk. They had a collab album, I'm pretty sure it was an album. Dirk was like, I'm the voice, baby, he the hero. Dirk's archetype was the voice of the trenches, the voice of the ghetto, the voice of the people who can't speak for themselves, who aren't being heard. Baby was the hero. I already just talked about what that means, right? They have their character archetypes set up, right? Think about it this way. Why do so many music artists have so much nicknames and alter egos? You have Beyonce, you got Sasha Fierce, right? You got Lil Baby, you got Wham, Top, right? Sorry, not Top, Wham and the hero. You got Youngboy, Top. You got Future, Pluto. You got Nicki Minaj. She has a bunch. She got Nicki Lewinsky. She got Harajuku Barbie. She got Roman. She got a few other ones, right? Like, so much. Chief Keef, Sosa, right? Like, Lil Wayne, Tunchi. Why does so many artists have multiple nicknames? You already have a stage name. Why do you need multiple other nicknames? Why do you need so many alter egos? It's part of the character. It's part of the character visual identity branding that they're trying to push to you, right? This is their character inside the show. And you need one. How do you come up with one? Well, simply you look at yourself in the mirror and you start writing down things about yourself. What are you interested in? What is it about you that makes you stand out? Like, what side do you lean on? Are you introverted? Are you extroverted? Are you more conscious? Are you more materialistic? Are you more flashy? Are you more so down to earth? Are you spiritual? Are you funny? Whatever, right? And then you're going to exaggerate that character into the archetype. There's actually like 12 character archetypes. Check the link in the description. I'll link you guys a document where you can get the archetype so you can do some research, right? There's actually more than 12 because I added some on my own. So you need one. And another word for this is called branding. A lot of people talk about branding in the music industry. It's a very common topic to be spoken on. You need to get your brand right. Brand. But so many artists don't understand what it means because when people explain it, they're so vague, right? This is a big part of your brand, your visual identity. Let's put a pin in that, right? I want to give you guys the next logical step to this. After you have your visual identity pinpointed, the next thing you're going to do with it, what they do in the music industry, is they create a storyline, an imaginary storyline. They take this character and they say this character is going to go through this struggle and this, and they're going to go through that and that and that. And they literally like write up a fake storyline. And then what they do with it is they show it in every single aspect of that artist's media. So music videos, content, photo shoots. They try and put it through interviews. A good way for you to think about this mentally, right? Have you ever seen a music video and they have like some subliminals in it and you were trying to figure out exactly what was happening in the video? You couldn't really tell, but they gave you enough where you're like, you came up with your own conclusion and you're like, yo, this must be it. They do this on purpose because they'll never actually tell you their storyline. That's basically ruining your whole entire rollout, your whole entire thing you got going. You don't tell anybody the storyline. It's a secret. It's subliminal. You want it to be that way because when people hear the music, it connects back to a memory. It connects back to an experience. For example, think of a song that got you through a hard time. Think of the song, one of your favorite songs when you were in high school, when you were in college, right? Think of certain songs and certain music that gives you a memory and you have an instant flashback every time you hear the song. So songs connect to memories and experiences, right? We give music our own meaning because we're the own main character of our own life. So when someone hears your song or they see your music video, you want them to define it themselves. You want them to give it meaning based on them because they're the consumer. You're making the music to give it to them, right? They're the ones who's paying for it. And when they get it, they're gonna have their own conclusion, and then that's gonna put them in a position where now they're hooked. This is what it means. Oh, look what he did. He did this and that. She did this and that. Oh, it means this, that, and the third. Yo, you seen this? And they just love it 10 times more because they get to give it their own meaning. So they'll never tell you this, but this is what's going on, right? So you need to have your character defined, well defined, and then you need to take that character on a story throughout all of your touch points across your career, all your media. You know, another person who did this well. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I remember when Chief Keef first came out. All right, he was the same age as me, so when he was 16, I was 16. He was on the Breakfast Club. He did an interview, and they were like, "Chief Keef, how old are you?" He was like, "I'm 300." All right, and he stood on that. He didn't actually clarify. He never was like, "Nah, I'm just 16. I'm fucking around," or no shit like that. Like he stood on it. He's like, "I'm 300." Right? And obviously that was the name of his crew, his name of his gang, whatever, right? That was his character. That was Sosa. That was like his part of his brand identity. He was showing that in the interview and it worked for him, right? So get your brand identity, figure out who you are, what kind of character you are in this reality show called the entertainment industry, right? And then tell that story across every single touch point, every single piece of content as possible. And I guarantee you, your marketing will start clicking and your super fans will start showing up for you, right? So if you guys found that valuable, like I know it was, smash the subscribe button, give me a like, and give me a comment, and let me know how you're gonna implement this in your career. Matter of fact, you could even just tell me like, yo, I think I'm this character. Or you could even just tell me your favorite artist and what kind of character you think they are, right? Like I said in the description, I'm gonna link a document where you can get, you can learn more about the character archetypes, etc. Right? But with that being said, I'm out. See y'all in the next video. Let's go.
Robinson gets the first hit off fourth. It's a homer into the left field stand.